A big basketball game Friday night. Our basketball team will be hosting Georgia Tech, so you can buy those tickets now in Stegman Coliseum. They're off to a great start Friday night at 9. And then also it's Dogs for Pups season for Giving Food Drive. That's an initiative our players started years ago and have followed up on. So as part of the Dogs for Pups community engagement, we're encouraging Dog Nation to join us by giving to the Food Bank of Northeast Georgia. Non-perishable items can be accepted there here at the Butts-Mehre through November 21st. So our players really appreciate the Dogs for Pups season of Giving Food Drive, which will be going on until the 21st of November. With that, we'll move on to Texas. So we got a big matchup. A lot of respect for Sark. He's become a good friend of mine. He does a tremendous job. He's at one of the premier programs in the country. He's been successful everywhere he's been. He's done a great job, and I enjoy his friendship and look forward to another a great matchup on Saturday night.
Coach, you mentioned your relationship with Coach Sarkisian. Now that Texas is in the SEC, we've seen you guys go head-to-head for a number of recruits. I guess Arch Manning among them. SEC Media Days, they dropped a couple recruit announcements that day. I mean, just how competitive is Texas on the recruiting trail, and how big are the ramifications from the outcome of these games?
Yeah, I don't know how the games tie. I mean, the recruiting they do, they recruit nationally. I mean, a lot of coaches have gone to Texas and just recruited the state of Texas. I think Sark and his staff have reached out both West Coast to California all the way down to Florida. They've gotten some guys, and they've gotten some guys from Georgia. We've gotten some guys from Texas that we think are good players. So it's all, in the eye of the beholder in terms of who you go after and who you win. Is certainly recruiting wins tie into the future of your program and the success of your program.
Yeah, Coach, this offense from Texas has had kind of a revitalization over the last 2 or 3 football games. What have you seen from the quarterback, specifically Arch, his development over the last several weeks?
Yeah, he's playing with more confidence. I think number one, he's getting better protection. He's seeing things well. He's making good decisions. He's getting the ball out of his hand quickly. He's maturing. He's had an opportunity to play and grow, and you don't really get that until you get out there and play. He played a good bit last year, but the kind of games he's had to play in this year, just a different stature in terms of the SEC gauntlet. And just, you watch game by game. I watched yesterday each game throughout the year and watched him just grow and play better. He's extending plays. He's doing really well with scrambles, keeps his eyes downfield. He doesn't look at the rush. He's made some really impressive wow throws, and they're playing better offensively.
Yeah, you guys obviously recruited Arch. What stood out about him during his recruitment process, and what do you remember about it, just given the, I think, celebrity nature that comes with him in that last name?
Yeah, it really wasn't about the celebrity nature or the last name. It was about the tape. Have a good relationship with their family. I've known his dad for a while, his uncle for a long time, and his grandfather. They've got a wonderful family, but it has nothing to do with his recruitment. His recruitment was based on he's athletic, he's fast, he's tall, he's intelligent, he's got composure, he's got arm. I mean, he can do it all. He can run the ball, he can throw the ball. In this day and age, you got to have a quarterback that can do both. He can, and I think he's got great composure. He's not really affected by not many things. Even the way he's managed the hype and expectations of what he was supposed to be this year, none of that was. He didn't call any of that to come to him. It's just what the outside sources did, and it doesn't seem to have affected him. He knows he's got to grow and get better, and I think Sark's done a great job kind of bringing him up and allowing him to develop and get better.
What was your pitch to him to try and come to Georgia?
I don't really know about a pitch. I mean, it was relationships. I mean, right? I got to know him. Our staff got to know him. He came over here a lot. He was very honest and had his thoughts about both programs. He liked both programs. He had to pick one. I mean, there was no sales pitch in terms of that.
Yeah, Texas comes into this game second nationally in run defense. Just what stands out to you about how they've been so effective in that area?
Yeah, they were really effective in that area last year. They're built on the line of scrimmage. They're built to be physical. They fit things really well. Pete does a great job as a defensive coordinator. They're very disruptive. They create turnovers, aggressive. They got good players. I mean, at the end of the day, they got big, physical, good players on the line of scrimmage, which allows you to stop the run.
Coach, I believe they're top 3 in sacks so far. What challenges will Colin Simmons and their other pass rushers present on Saturday?
They're tremendous. They got great effort. They rush really hard. They're leaders. They've got stars all over their defense. I mean, they're very talented. When you watch that defense play, they play hard. They get after the quarterback. They disguise things well. Very disruptive. So there's a lot of challenges when it comes to, dropping back, throwing the ball, and trying to run the ball. When you want to be balanced, they're really good at making you not be balanced.
Yeah, you've had to shuffle some pieces around in the secondary over the past couple of weeks due to injuries and things like that. But how would you assess how that unit has played, since the second off week against a couple teams with solid quarterbacks in Florida and Mississippi State?
I mean, we play good in spurts and we play poor. It's kind of like everything. I mean, there's things that I would like to see done better, and there's things that were improved on. It just kind of depends on what quarter, what play you're talking about.
Kirby, on quarterback recruiting, you've played, signed, pursued what the outside world, I guess, would categorize as a bunch of different styles of quarterbacks. Do you have some core traits you look for at a quarterback, or is that a position where you're trying to get the best available player every cycle?
Well, I think the best player available every cycle does have core qualities or core characteristics. You're going to be a good quarterback, you got to be a leader. It's 80, 90% between the years, and I think people get enamored with just physical traits. How big is he? How tall is he? What does he run? How far does he throw the ball? How fast does he run? A lot of those things, I mean, they matter, but they don't matter as much as what does he do when there's a guy free running at him? What does he do when the shot clock's got 3 seconds left and he's got to make a decision on which way to slide the protection? I mean, there is so much that goes into playing that position that is not talked about, and a lot of them aren't really qualities we can measure without having them in our program. So we don't have a cookie cutter like this is what we're going after. We want to go after people that can lead our team. If they have a skill set that's unique and that we think can make us better, then we want to grow them within our program. They're going to be the face of your organization, so you want to go after the right kind of person, and they're probably the sole person that makes the most decisions outside of the offense coordinator and defense coordinator during a game. So you want to get the right guy from a mental makeup.
Kirby, you were asked specifically a couple questions about Arch. What has Gunner brought to your offense as a first-year starting quarterback?
Toughness. He's brought wisdom. He's brought consistency. He's made good decisions with the ball in terms of keeping us out of bad situations. I mean, you look at it, he's avoided quite a bit of sacks. He's avoided catastrophic things like turnovers, and he's made plays with his legs, and he's made plays with his arm. So, I mean, I think he is he's improved throughout the season, and continues to do that. Then it's going to make us very hard to defend when he plays well.
Speaking with KJ here in a bit, what's been his biggest area of growth since stepping foot on campus?
Probably leadership. I mean, if you say this year, I would say his growth has been in leadership. I would say his freshman year, it was probably in adding some bulk and some size, and he's done a really good job of that in the offseason. He's fighting to maintain that throughout the season because we like for him to play in that 195 range, and he works really hard at that. But his biggest growth this year is in being in a room where he has to step to the forefront and be a leader and communicate more. Where he relied on other guys to communicate in the past, he is the lead communicator on the back end now, and he's done a nice job of that.
Yeah, Coach, I've heard you and other coaches mention how you almost have to nowadays have a quarterback that can run the football and add and balance counts. What have defenses done to kind of force that, to almost require that to have a dynamic run game?
Well, I just think defenses are hard to run on without the extra element. I don't know that they've taken more chances. Offenses can become more predictable when they're not using their quarterback's legs. But I don't know that there's a team we've played this year that hasn't used their quarterback's leg like everybody does. You say, well, that quarterback can't run. They still use them. They still get him out of the pocket and use him to run the ball. So that advent has come about because rushing the ball matters. I don't think that advent has come along because defenses have evolved to the point they stop people from doing it. It's just we have to be able to get some situational runs, red area, third down, goal line, whatever you call it. You need creative ways to run the ball to stay ahead.
Coach, just want to get the latest update on Lawson, how he's doing, and also Drew Bobo and DeMello Jones.
Yeah, Drew had a pretty bad laceration on his finger. He's patched up and ready to go. He'll practice today, and Lawson is doing well, and I think he's gonna make a good quick turn, but we'll see.
First game on Saturday without Jordan Hall. Just what did you make of how the defensive line played against Mississippi State?
Yeah, they did a good job. I think they played kind of, inspired about him not being there and wanting to play well because he wasn't there. It's tough on Jordan, and he's a leader in that room, and guys missed him, and we had to increase the snaps to some other guys.
How much do the wins last year over Texas impact this game at all? You look for tendencies. Does it maybe give this team some confidence knowing that they've beaten Texas before in big-time situations?
Yeah, this team didn't beat Texas. That team, and this Texas hasn't played this team of ours, so two completely different teams in my opinion. So I think it has zero effect on it.
Yeah, how have you seen the pass rush continue to develop over the past couple of weeks? You've got some sacks and some pressure on Saturday, and what are the challenges of rushing a guy like Arch who can make plays with his legs in the scramble game if you're not careful?
Yeah, it's a challenge every play. There's 6 gaps, sometimes 7 gaps up there you got to fill, and you can't fill them all. So you got to rush intelligently and violently, and those two don't always mix. So it's hard to do that and contain the quarterback. We've had some opportunities to get sacks that we've capitalized on. We had a couple chances on normal down stuff the last week with Mississippi State's style of play, but it'll be key this week for sure because Arch is really good. They're really good at protection. They know what they're doing. They've got different protections, and it's a challenge every week for our defense to try to affect the quarterback.
Coach, where's been the biggest improvement you've seen from this team over the last few weeks?
I don't know if I can specify one area. I think I've been really proud of the consistency in practice, so I don't know that that's an improvement. I think that is a staple of this team. They have committed to practicing the right way and improving in a time when some teams are going the other way.
Kirby, what goes into the timing now of freshmen, Zayden, Walker, Landon Rolden, Elyiss Williams getting more snaps? How much of it is what you see on the practice field? How much of it is game planning?
I think some of it's opportunity. Injuries in some of those cases have brought that about. Confidence, cumulative reps we're big on here, meaning the cumulative reps that each one of those guys have taken has grown. I mentioned C.J. Wiley in that with Landon and Elyiss, Zayden, and there's other guys. Some people's progression is just different than others. But as they grow and get better and they get put in these tough situations in practice, they grow confidence. And honestly, we can't make it through the year without a number of guys, and those guys are more ready to play now than they were earlier in the year.
Coach, after the game, I know you mentioned Zachariah's block for Noah and Oscar's block for Zachariah. Was this one of y'all's better quote-unquote blocking games that you guys have? Because there was a bunch. It seemed like there was a bunch of them out there in this particular contest.
Well, we got hat on a hat, but, we try to do that every game So I don't know if this game was more outstanding in terms of blocking. There were more explosive plays, so it probably brought to light a lot of those. But, some of that comes around missed tackles, and we might be blocking the same guys in the same game, but one guy makes a tackle, it's not an explosive. One guy breaks a tackle, it is an explosive. So I'm definitely pleased with the effort they played with.
Quintavious forced the fumble on Saturday. Just what have you seen from him down the stretch of his sophomore year?
Much better leader. He was forced into a role last year that he didn't play a lot, but he played. And with the guys we've had leave at that position or go to the NFL, he's grown. He's grown up a lot, and he grew up quickly, and really proud of the way he owns his responsibility to the team and his leadership.
Yeah, you have a handful of guys from the state of Texas on this team. What have guys like Dylan Bell, Joseph Jonas, Johnny, Justin Williams brought to this Georgia program?
Well, each one's different. Dylan's been here a long time. We know what he's brought. He's brought an ability to play multiple positions, toughness, special teams. We're still cracking the surface of those other two guys, but they're tremendous leaders. Dylan's a captain this week. He's a joy to be around. They all work really hard. I think they come from great programs. I think Texas high school programs are similar to Georgia, and they have great support structures, community involvement. High school football still matters in that state, and I think that made those guys better football players.
Coach, can we get your take on the development of Oscar Delp this year? Seems to gets his first big TD, and then also, what is your vision for Elyiss Williams? He's also seemed to be coming on strong lately.
Yeah, I think both those guys are playing well. I think Hartley and Lilly and those guys have done a great job with the development of Elyiss, but also with Oscar. I mean, he was not a completed player last year, and he came back with a purpose of getting better, and I think he just loves Georgia and loves the team, and he's so fired up every game to do whatever role you ask him to do. I mean, he's just as excited about his downfield block for a touchdown as he is his catch for a touchdown. The guy's never complained one time since being here about touches in the ball and making that a priority. He does whatever the team asks him to do. He's very selfless. I mean, all those guys in that room are. And I think, he should take some ownership in Elyiss' growth, because he and Lawson both show him how to work, how to do things, what the standard is at Georgia, and they compete with each other to make each other better.
Coach, what have you thought of the development of this offensive line throughout the year? Seems like they've gotten healthier, and later in games they seem to be fresh and looking for an opportunity to go finish the game. What are your thoughts on the development this year?
Well, we've gotten more continuity, but I mean that's by way of getting guys back from injuries. I don't think we've played our best game yet. Still think we've got a level of conditioning we can improve on in terms of playing hard and running down the field and covering down. I'd like to see more guys in that front group do that. Some of them do, and some of them can improve on it. But I like the depth piece we have, and if we stay healthy, we've got ability to play up to 7 or 8 guys. It's just you don't control the health part of it.
Time for one more question.
Kirby, to your left, what DNA traits, common themes do you see in a Steve Sarkisian-led offense?
Explosive, attacking, window dressing. They've got a lot of shifts, motions. They employ tempo, and they'll go fast on you, and they do a really good job of mixing things up and creating a lot to work on defensively.